Pick myself up.
This is Duke Oursler, and you're listening to Melodies and Memories with Aaron and Jillian Schreiber.
So damn hard that I bust my bootstrap.
Welcome to the Melodies and Memories podcast with Jillian and Aaron Schreiber, brought to you by Arlo Revolution. Each week, they connect melodies and memories with fans and singer-songwriters from all genres of life. When all else in life is gone, music will be left to leave the legacy of life's adventures. Please welcome your hosts of the Melodies and Memories podcast, Jillian and Aaron Schreiber.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are going to check the sound, make sure everything's good to go. Once I get the thumbs up over here, we'll let Miss Jillian do the read again tonight. You've been doing so good. You're going to kill it tonight. Watch. I have a good feeling about tonight.
I think we're good. I don't know. We'll see about that.
How's the sound? Sounds good on your end?
Yeah, sounds okay.
Cool.
Sound okay to everybody on?
What's up, Kyle? Man, welcome, man. Thanks for joining tonight. Good old buddy over there.
Nice. Awesome.
All right.
All right.
All right.
It's been a while. I'm a little rusty. We've all been through the mill the last couple of weeks.
You'll be all right. I have faith.
All right, here we go. Hello and welcome everyone to the season 6 of Melodies and Memories podcast. I'm your co-host, Jillian Schreiber.
I'm your host, Aaron Schreiber.
And our mission tonight is to provide a platform for motivated singer-songwriters, passionate fans, or someone who's making a difference in and around the music community. We hope everyone listening leaves inspired with a positive outlook and begins connecting their own melodies to memories. Tonight, we're presented by our good friends at Arlo Revolution, cinematic wedding films, music videos and promos. You can find them at arlorevolution.com. One tree planted. For every 1,000 downloads of the show, we plant a tree. For one tree planted, download the show on your favorite podcast app. And pod decks. Pod decks are your hottest tool to get your next great interview, unique interview questions at the palm of your hand. Excuse me. Our on-screen sponsors, Art on a Higher Wire by Joelle, original and custom artwork inspired by your life moments, treasured photos, and memories, and Shed Services. At Shed Services, we offer a full range of maintenance services depending on your needs. You can find them at shedservices.com. If you're looking for ways to support or sponsor Melodies and Memories, then head on over to our Patreon page. We have tiers that start just at $1. If Patreon is something that you can't do, the next best thing is to show support for the show. Like, share, review, and subscribe. Remember, you can join us live every Monday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. You can interact with the show, ask questions, or join in on the live chat with your favorite guests. Remember to visit our website, melodiesandmemories.com. for music news, concert reviews, and photos, playlists, and more.
See, you do good every week. You're killing it.
I've done a lot of talking this week, so.
Yeah, hey. It was really good, though.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Like I said earlier, we are very excited for tonight's show. We welcome in Spencer Crandall for episode 146. This Colorado native has been an internet sensation, connecting with fans through the truth of his lyrics that hit very deep. Tonight, we are honored to discuss melodies and memories that make up his journey. We're going to go ahead and welcome Spencer on. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, dog?
We are so excited to finally have you on the show, man. I know we've been talking, Jillian and I have been talking about having you for such a long time now. And it's been a long time coming. So we're excited to have you tonight. Get you out of the world of your own podcast for a little bit and get you on another one.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Man, appreciate it. So we like to start the show off the same way every week and throw it way back to your earliest childhood memory, man. What was kind of being played around the house? And we always like to know your first concert experience, how that went.
You know, my mom always says my first concert was George Strait because I was in her stomach.
Yep.
Concert, and I guess I was kicking pretty hard, so I liked something I was hearing. My first concert I remember, I was maybe 6 or something like that. I went and saw NSYNC with all my cousins.
Nice.
Oh, so fun.
They tell you a lot about who I am and the music I make.
Yeah, no. I worked in an NSYNC show way back when, man. I loved it.
Don't you still have a sweat towel, or was that Backstreet Boys?
That was 90 degrees.
Oh, 90 degrees sweat towel. Okay.
Yeah. So I did, probably NSYNC or something like that. I remember in high school, the first concerts I paid to go see with my own money that I'd saved up. I saw Tim McGraw at our amphitheater and just remembered saving up my little landscaping money and all that stuff. So.
Awesome.
So going to see Tim McGraw, and was this back before you started picking up music, or was this kind of where you just kind of resonating with what was going on?
I was just a fan, man. I didn't think about doing music. I didn't think people could do that. I thought that was for other people. I went to go play college football.
Yeah.
Shoulder surgeries, and that's when I picked up a guitar. It was more just out of like boredom, and just a love of country music. But I grew up a massive country music fan. My parents are like fanatical country music fans. Like that's just all that was on in our house. So I remember I had a few friends in high school and they showed me all this new music and I was like, whoa, there's other music besides country music. Crazy.
That's how I was. I have the same kind of story, man. My parents said my first concert was Waylon Jennings in 81, which I was born in 82. So I don't know how that would work out, but it was late 81. So it was kind of funny. So same path though. I love that about you. Now, when you started playing in college, you said, did you have like, how did you learn? Did you YouTube videos, or how was your way of learning guitar?
Just YouTube, man. I had a few friends who would give me some little pointers here and there, but predominantly just YouTube. Just such a cool time to be alive that you can hop on the internet and literally learn any song that you've ever wanted to learn. And I was just, again, skipping class and learning the guitar and was like, oh, this is really fun. And I learned some chords and I learned some covers. And then I learned kind of how to start to write music. And once I to write my own songs, it's like, oh, this is like free drugs. This is like the best thing ever. Like, I love this. People have been holding out on me. You could do this the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you write it all before you started songwriting? Did you have like a journal or do any poetry or anything like that? Or was that kind of your first really digging into writing, was just songwriting?
I just remember I've always loved English class, which I know sounds silly, but like I would much rather write an essay. I'd much rather talk. I'd much rather give a presentation. I was always the class clown, and I've always been a storyteller, whether it was ridiculous or, you know, like a long paper. I just preferred to like speak and write and do those things. So I always knew I had a passion for it. But like, again, it just never clicked to me like that people did creative things for a living. I was like, that's impossible. I'll just be a construction management major and just do my thing or whatever. And once I started to write songs, you know, there's huge imposter syndrome. So there's like, I'm not a writer. I'm not a blah, blah, blah. You know, Keith Urban or Sam Hunt or whatever, those guys, like, they do it and I just like partake or I have fun with it. And then eventually you just kind of have to like fake it till you make it and go, you know what? I'm a free writer. This is what I'm. And you basically just try it on. You know, I think Shawn Mendes, I heard him in an interview one time talking to somebody. And they're like, how do I know I'm a songwriter? And he goes, well, do you write songs? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, congratulations, you're a songwriter. And that was kind of it. I would just introduce myself. Oh yeah, I'm a country artist. And people are like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. Just wait. I just got to figure it out.
Very cool.
I love that.
I do too. I love that.
It's a great.
That's awesome.
So you graduated college with a marketing degree. Now, do you feel like we're huge Eric Church fans here? If you look behind us, all the stuff we have is all Eric Church, and that's probably because of his damn marketing degree. But do you feel like that has came into play for you over the years, kind of where you've been able to use that to your advantage in the music career?
So funny you say that because I understand why you'd ask that question. The reality is I actually didn't learn one thing that is now applicable in my like marketing for my own music. I think when I was in college, I remember, you know, it was like early Facebook and Twitter and all these things. And there are some like basic principles, but for the most part, everything that I've done, I've had to like just try and fail at. So that's the best education I ever had, was just, I started DMing people on Twitter. I started posting covers on Instagram. I started all these contests, all these challenges. And I learned that just by trial and error. And when I was in college, everyone would have just told me to like take out a thing in the newspaper or buy a billboard. It was like a very weird time for a marketing program. Right as the internet was kind of getting into maturation, they were saying, that's a fad. And I actually remember I had a professor that I like disagreed with. I was like, I think everything will be online. I think music, all those things, everything will be marketed and all the middlemen will get cut out. All these marketing agencies will either go away or like a lot of the power of what they do will change. And he like laughed at me. You know, Okay, we'll see about that.
We'll see about that, right? Look
See,
at us now.
I feel the same way. I got a marketing degree just a couple years ago, and I don't feel like anything I learned then I can even use now to what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I
one of
mean,
those things. The best thing you can do is just dive into the pool and like learn how to swim.
I love how you said. I mean, you got to fail to see before you see what happens, and see. You never know, man. Now, was
Mhm.
TikTok good to you when in 2020 when it started out?
Yeah, I got on TikTok like in 2019, kind of before the boom, and I was like hesitant. My sister's like, "You should get on this thing." I was like, "I'm not a 13-year-old girl who dances in her room, so probably." um, but then all of a sudden, I started to see other people using it in a different way, and I'm always just asking myself like, where's the real attention? Where are the eyes and the ears and the minds and the hearts? And I started to see my friends and like especially like my little sister, who's kind of like even kind of above or like before me rather, like in a lot of the tech stuff. She'll be like, "Oh, do you have this app? Do you have this whatever? Are you listening to this person?" And she's cooler than I am, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
She and her friends, when I asked her, I was like, "How much time do you spend on Instagram now?" She's like, not as much because of this TikTok thing. So I was like, "That's interesting. That has to mean something."
Mhm.
And so that's where I just started to play with it. And for about 6 months, I just started to fail fast. Like just post this. Okay, that doesn't work. I'm going to try it in a black hat because I can write the words on the hat, like trying everything that existed. And so when the world shut down, I had kind of built, a little bit of a platform already, maybe 200K, 300K or something like that. And everybody just had nothing else to do. And it was like one of those perfect storms. The world shut down and crashed into what I believed in. And that's kind of, you never want a global pandemic, but it did work out in my favor, being there at the right place at the right time, doing the right things. So TikTok changed my life. I mean, over the past couple of years, racking up millions of followers and millions of views on original music, finding my people, like it's just such a democratizing system. You can really find your fans right now, today. You don't have to spend thousands or millions of dollars. I always say I'm an independent artist and I don't have $1 billion budget. We're literally recording stuff on our iPhones. We're taking really good care of our finances and our funds because they have to go to certain places. And once they're out, I can't just go, "More, please."
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. So
Mhm.
I went really hard at TikTok, and I continue to because I really believe in the internet, and it's going to change. Right now it's TikTok. Tomorrow will be Schmick whatever the thing is. But it's more the principle of just being where everybody is.
Yep.
And I agree. I think 2020. I know you said you don't want to wish a global pandemic, but I really think it's helped the independent artists, and I think that's where we saw a little bit of a
Can you hear us? Can
Uh, yeah.
you
okay.
can. Okay. Sorry, we got a. When your computer says "oops," we're like, "Oops, what? What's oops mean?"
No, but going back to what I was saying, that's why I think we saw a big shift where we saw like the Lily Roses and everybody just kind of pop out of nowhere, and that really helped launch independent artists. And I think now we're honestly looking more at the independent artists taking over different areas and everything in the music industry.
I think so too. I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't think it's like labels breaking artists anymore. I think it's labels, it used to be them pushing a boulder up a hill. Now it's like they're taking fast moving trains and getting them moving faster.
Yeah.
Mhm.
From the beginning, there's very little artist development, to be honest. And there's good and there's bad to that.
You almost have to be a developed artist already and have that going.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. So it'll be interesting. It's interesting to see what happens, how it plays out.
But when's the last time you've heard of an independent artist? And I mean, now they're doing it more, playing the Grand Ole Opry, though.
It's pretty crazy, man. I mean, that was just something that I'm like, oh, that's not for me. I'll have to wait. I'll have to wait forever and ever and ever. But again, I think people underestimate the power of building something real, not trying to flex on Nashville or the industry. I tried to build something that when we showed up places, there were real human beings. And when we put out a song, there were real. And when you build a foundation, you know, the word that I always try to use is just undeniable. And we've kind of done that. I mean, in a really cool way, like something like the Grand Ole Opry saying, yeah, you're ready. Come on down. That's insanity. That's crazy. And if I could go back and tell myself in the dorm room, I'm sure I would be sobbing. So it's a special opportunity, and I am so humbled by that.
So how was it, man, just walking on that stage and stepping in that circle for the first time and just feeling that? Because honestly, it has to be just life-changing in a way, knowing that that's an accomplishment you had. It had to be a bucket list item for you prior to that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are a few things in my life that I'll get to, like, look back on and go, dang, I did it. And I think that's one of them for sure. Like, to do it independently is, like, extra sweet, I think. You know, I have such a non-traditional path. So to have, like, a traditional kind of, like, benchmark like that is really sweet for me and my team. And I just feel like there are certain moments like that where you get to pause and go, dang, like all the sacrifices were worth it. All the sore throats, all the 3 a.m. flights, all the terrible songs that I wrote at the beginning, all the playing for free beer at a frat, like all of the BS that you go through to just dream that one person hears your song, then dream about 100 people hearing your song. And then, you know, it just feels so legitimizing to have something like the Grand Ole Opry be like, yeah, not only are you ready, but like you'll get a standing ovation. It's just really crazy.
Hell yeah. Good for you. I love that. Just an amazing story, and it's amazing that you accomplishment in your career, especially early on in your career, to be able to play the Opry. I'm sure there'll be many more in your future too. So they don't allow many standing ovations go unnoticed at that Opry. So
yeah, it's pretty special.
So earlier in the year, you released a few songs or a few projects, and one in particular, the Scorpion title. Tell me a little bit about the vulnerability you put into those songs, and how did you overcome like some of those personal struggles you had? For me, Get Away From You just hit home with a lot of things. That's a song that, man, when I heard that song, I was like, whoa. I was just like, this guy's in my head. What's going on? And I just had to take a step back. But tell me a little bit about making, especially the Scorpion part of that album.
Yeah, so the full album's called Western, and Western's broken up into 6 chapters. So Scorpion, Mustang, Revolver, Pickaxe, Desert Gold. Each chapter kind of zoomed in version of what looks like health and unhealth on the hero's journey in chasing your dreams. And I wanted the project to start in a real place. Like, the reality is this isn't a Disney movie. It's real life. And I struggle with things that, you know, aren't sexy or cool. And I there's probably a million versions of this album where I don't share those things, but I knew the most impact that I could possibly have is when I shared those things. I think solidarity is underrated. I think letting people in to who you really are is underrated. And although vulnerability is scary because you feel naked and you feel like you're ripping open your chest, I mean, like, look at my heart. It's necessary. And I think songs like Know Better, talking about addiction for the first time, songs like Get Away From Me, where I'm talking about like how hard it is to really be self-reflective and self-aware. They're songs that when I listen to them speak to me. And I think that really is the only radar, is like, what is the thing that when I'm in my car, I'm going, I got to hear that again because it just moves me. Makes me feel something. And there's so much music out now. And I put out so much music. I think that's a part of my growth as well. Is like, I just started asking myself, why this song? Like, does it have to exist? Or is it, oh, it'd be nice if it was in the world, or is it, it's written on my bones? And every song in this album felt like it was written on my bones. It felt like it was something that if I didn't say it, I was going to basically explode.
I think that's why it's done so well, because people could relate to it. You put yourself in other shoes, or we were able to put ourselves in those shoes and be like, man, someone else is going through what we're going through. You're a voice for a lot of us. And that's what made me a fan, especially of the Scorpion part. But the new album is Western, dropped a few weeks ago back. For you, what was the best part of making the entire album in a whole? And how do you feel the music has changed or grown for you from 2020's Wilderness to what we have now? I mean, Western had 20 tracks, man. That's unheard of.
It's a monster. It's my baby, and it was really this kind of labor of love. I think I learned a lot about myself in the process, which there's like some kind of serendipity there, an album about the process, and then learning so much about the process in the process, kind of like meta.
Yeah.
It was so enjoyable to make. I have such incredible collaborators, and people say that, I feel like, as like a nice thing to say. Like, I actually mean that. My life can be broken down into create things I love with people I love. And that's what this album was. And it continues to just like, right when I'm like, well, I think that's all that album's going to do, or I feel like that's all that album's going to reach, I get a DM from someone going like, I can't believe I just found the song, or I'm using a song as my engagement or my wedding or whatever. So there's just so much put into this. And the process, I think the growth, to go back to your question, from Wilderness to Western, more like sonic identity, being really unapologetic about what I do. And just, I'm not Luke Combs. I freaking love Luke Combs, but I do a thing, and I'm going to continue to do that thing. And it might not be for everybody, but I think the more that I've done that, ironically, that's when it feels like it's more for more people. Because there's just something refreshing about authenticity. I think we're all starved for it. I think we want people who just feel like real people, who aren't putting on the mask of the influencer and the, selling you some tea or underwear or whatever. Like I wanted to be the realest version of me. And I think Western, my goal was to make it really evergreen. And I think my music's always been like that, but I think this project will really stand the test of time over the course of many years, where people hopefully continue to find it decades later and go, holy crap, like, I can't believe I'm just finding this. And time will tell, but I'm so proud of it. And I've never put so much work and heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears into a project. And it's just my baby.
That's why I love, because people say that they have their baby and they get ready to release it out to the world and let everybody hear it. So I love to see how that grows. And you're right, man. There's only one Spencer Crandall out there that's out there playing. I mean, many people could try to be Luke Combs, but there's only one going to be Luke Combs. I mean, and that's what I love about that, because you are set apart and you are yourself. And that's something that I kind of want to ask tonight. Your music pulls from multiple genres, but your lyrics are country, and is it hard to stay true to yourself and stay in one lane at all? When you are pulling from different worlds, especially in today's music industry, people want you to be this genre or that genre, and I'm not a fan of genres. I want people to be them.
Dude, I the genre station is just like so boring to me. Like, when people just sit there and debate, like, is it country, is it not? Who cares? Do you like the music? Great. There's like 3 nights a year that like have to do with awards that people care about it, and that's fine. I get it. But for the most part, I like that my influences are like Frankenstein together, that they're this thing that, are kind of like all these things combined. And I totally understand if somebody was like, oh, he's trying to do a couple different things, but there's like a pendulum of Spencer Crandall. And yes, there are songs on the album like Girls Like You that feels like a Michael Jackson meets Morgan Wallen. Yes. And there's songs that feel like Side of the Stage, where I feel like Stapleton could sing that. And everything in between, you start to mix all those things together and you go, dang, I think only Spencer could make this project. It could make this thing. And so that's what I'm proud of. What it's called, people can argue about. My favorite people are disruptors in genres, in most things. It's people going, I've seen what you've done with that, but I want to try my hand. I want to do my version. I think that's really cool.
That's awesome. I do got to ask, on the album, you threw a couple covers on there. One of them is Still the One. What made you throw that one on there? Because that is one of my jams ever since Lita Wise on American Idol sang it. It was one of our wedding songs. And I love the male version of that song. So what made you cut that song?
It just felt like, Jeff and I, my manager, we'd go through the album and be like, oh man, I wish I had a song like this. I wish we had a song like this. And eventually he goes, why don't you just do your version of that? You love the song. If it's perfect, let's just throw it through your filter. And it's one of my favorite country songs of all time. It's a song. It just feels like the perfect kind of way to, also invite people in. Maybe people don't know who I am, but they might know that song. And if they find that song and my version of that song, they'll go, wait, what is this on? What is this project? What is this? And that's held true. So that's really fun.
I love that. Yeah, it'll bring people in, show them what else you have to offer. No, I love it, man. When I was going through the album and I got to that, I was like, all right, this is my jam. And you crushed it. You nailed it, dude. I love it. So what does the rest of the year look like for you into next year? I know you're still doing some touring. We cannot wait. You're going to be at Joe's Bar. We're Chicago, so we're going to come out and see you at Joe's, and it's going to be an amazing show. But what else does the rest of the year next year look like for you?
Honestly, it's just finishing the tour, and then I'm kind of at a point where I just need a break. I'm kind of roasted. 20 songs and 26 shows, and then we had a spring tour. We were touring over the summer. I'm taking a full month off, so I'll go pretty hard these next 3 or 4 weekends and continue to promote the album this year and even into next year. I think I just really believe in Western with all my heart, and I will continue to bang the same freaking drum over and over and over until I feel like everyone who's needed to hear it hears it. So
yeah, I agree, man. That's a damn good album.
Thank you. And I think there's Tyler, the Creator, said this. He was like, it's so funny. All these people make an album, they drop it, and then they act like it never existed. Like they stop promoting it, they stop marketing it. And I feel the opposite. I feel like the Western era is just getting started. Mm-hmm. But, something like My Person, it took me 3 years to build that song to where it is. And because I just never gave up on it. So I feel that way with the whole album, and I look forward to doing it.
I love that, dude.
Awesome.
All right, so we're going to move on to our Powered by Pod Deck section of the night. We drew a couple cards earlier. One of them is, which quality do you think is more important for a musician, a unique style or technical skill?
They're different, I think. I think you need to start with technical skill, but I think the people that are remembered end up finding unique style. They, it's like their signature. Like, why are you not everyone else? That's the question that you have to answer.
Yep, I agree. Love that. And then our second one was, do you have any pre-show rituals or routines, like before you hit the stage? Is there anything you got to do before that happens?
I take shows really seriously. And it actually really reminds me of like a football game. I'm like getting ready. I'm like sweating. I'm like doing my whole thing. Steaming of my voice and like just all these warm-up things. I have like a pretty serious vocal regiment, specifically when we're on. It's pretty hefty tour that we embarked on this fall, so gotta be careful with the vocal cords. But a lot of it's just like hanging out with the guys, like right before the show, probably 15 minutes before. I'm warm, just doing jumping jacks, keeping my voice warm, and we're just goofing, and it's super fun. And I think I'll be on my deathbed. Man, I've had so many fond memories, and right before playing a show, of just like making jokes and roasting each other and all that stuff.
Awesome.
I love that, man. That's awesome. All right, our next section is a little fun. We picked 4 songs. First memory you have with this song, to spit it out. Let's go ahead and see. I kind of do a little bit of studying. We'll see if I nail any of these for you. Go ahead and hit the yellow one. So I know Sam Hunt. Can you hear it?
I can't.
Okay, so I have to tell you the titles. So sometimes they can hear them, sometimes they can't.
Sure.
It was Sam Hunt Cop Car. I know that's an influence for you. So when you hear Sam Hunt Cop Car, where do you go, man?
Sam Hunt Cop Car. I go back to college, and I'm walking back from the gym, and I'm ready to go out for the night, and I'm just like, who the hell is this guy, and why is he so good at what he does? That's what I just remember. I used to like work out to Sam Hunt, wake up to Sam Hunt. I mean, he was just such a influence in my life. He just was one of those guys who, again, has such a unique signature style. And I'll always remember being around the kitchen table and my roommate's girlfriend at the time was like, "Have you heard this guy?" I was like, "What?" She played, I think it was that song, and I was like, "Shut up! What is this? This is incredible."
That was me, man. When I heard Sam Hunt do Cop Car, I kind of fell in love with the guy there right then and there. Cause I was like, I knew the Keith Urban version, but I never knew his version. I'm like, dude, that's right there. That made me a fan of who the songwriter was too.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna play the next one a little bit, and then I'll tell you what it is. Go ahead and hit the green one. So the next one is Eminem, "Lose Yourself."
And then
when you hear Eminem, "Lose Yourself" from 8 Mile, where does it take you, man?
It's probably before a football game. That's just like
Ooh.
classic pump up song, and I am just jacked up and ready to hit other human beings. It's a very specific feeling before your football game or like any sporting thing. I kind of tap into it with music sometimes, and I like feel like I'm like about to run the brick wall. So probably either that or in like my truck in high school trying to impress girls by like turning up the bass too loud.
Yeah.
I love that, man. All right, next one. Go ahead and play that yellow one. So I picked a Taylor Swift song because I know your range is all over, your musical taste all over. Should have Said No by Taylor Swift, one of my personal favorites. But when you hear that song, man, where does it take you?
I have a buddy named John Wood, and John and I used to just drive around and do tobacco and listen to Taylor Swift. And it's John's old shitty hatchback that he drove that I hope is just buried somewhere because it was a terrible car. But the memories are just like crazy, and I could literally smell Copenhagen wintergreen right now. So.
That's awesome.
That's why we love doing this, man. Bring up those old memories and stuff. All right, our last one. Go ahead and hit that last one. So the last one is Tim McGraw, "Don't Take the Girl." So when you hear that song, man, where are you going with it?
It's probably my favorite song of all time. So there's a billion places I could go, but I'm in like a car seat. I'm in the back seat and my whole family's in the car and my parents are driving and they're like holding hands over the console. And I'm just like a little kid again. And I just remember literally begged my parents to play that song over and over because I could see the movie in my head. And it was so cool that I could like build this little world. And, you know, I didn't know how to describe that. But I knew I loved country storytelling since I was able to talk. And it's always just moved me so viscerally. It's just it has such an impact on my life. And I'll always be grateful for that song. I feel like it's kind of called me to country music no matter where I go. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is what it's about.
Yeah, I love that, man. It's such a good storytelling song too. You don't really have too many of those. I mean, here and there, but nothing like "Don't Take the Girl." I mean, it's just
Incredible.
Yeah. What an amazing song. All right, now we're going to put you on the hot seat. It's kind of a little bit like what we just did. First thing that comes to your mind after I ask you, we got 60 seconds on the clock. See how far we get. The first vinyl you ever purchased?
Gotta be honest with you. I purchased vinyls as an adult. But I was in the CD world as a kid, and I just like ripped a bunch of music on LimeWire, which I regret now. That's just the reality of the situation. The first album that I remember having like a CD is Room for Squares by John Mayer.
Nice. All right.
And like still to this day, just one of my most listened to albums.
So I still remember my first cassette I ever had, so I know how the CD era went. If you had an endless supply of something, what would it be?
There's like a lame answer and a cool answer. My lame answer is sleep. Because it's just real. I just feel like I can't get enough sleep these days. It's crazy. My cool guy answer is like days where I have an open schedule. Days where I can like do whatever I want. It's like my favorite thing as a human, where you wake up and you can go like well, holy cow, I got a full Saturday. I don't have to work. I don't have to do whatever. I can hang out with whoever. I can go on a hike. I can do whatever. Like, that's just, I would take unlimited of those. I think that's what I'll remember on my deathbed the most. Those 3 days.
You look forward to them. They're few and far between, I'm sure, man. You're a hard worker, man. That's what I noticed. Who has the best pizza you've ever had?
Eric's in Breckenridge, Colorado.
Okay.
Like my birthday. Incredible.
We need to make a list of all these pizza places.
Yeah.
The strangest
Eric's, Bojo's and Eric's.
All right. The strangest thing you've ever seen in the middle of the road.
Man, I saw a minivan that was just on fire. Just like fully engulfed in flames. Nobody around it. No cops, no anything. I just like drove past. I didn't know what to do. All the cops are like, okay, thanks. That minivan. And it haunts me.
That would, man. That definitely would. You never know what was going on there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst day job you've ever had?
I've got a lot of weird jobs. I worked retail. I worked like physical labor. I did landscaping. And then I worked like food service. And I think they all have like a unique shittiness to them. They also have a unique like something that I kind of missed about them. So I think the hardest job, like a hardest day of my life job, is like landscaping, where I would get home and I was just like beat. Like I couldn't believe I had worked 14 hours in a row in the sun, and my shirt was just like drenched in sweat, like salty, and I throw it away. But man, dealing with some people at a fancy country club, that, man, some of those conversations will just be burned in my brain. So probably.
I love that. All right, what's one thing people buy that you feel is a waste of money?
Thing that people buy that a waste of. A great podcast question. I love this question so much.
We've had video games. I can see that. I can see that definitely being one.
You know what's funny?
Water.
Bottled water.
See, I love those two things so much.
Would be
Wasn't bottled water Daryl earlier? No.
I think probably pickles, because pickles are
Oh my god, my face.
Shot her in the heart on that one.
Sorry, Jillian.
That was my pregnancy food. I hate those ones.
So the most common question you probably get, but what's one song you wish you wrote?
Man, don't take the girls up there. God Bless the Broken Road. There Goes My Life, Kenny Chesney. Mirrors by Justin Timberlake. Wake Me Up, Avicii.
That's a good one.
There's a few like little niche ones. There's this one, Neil Carpenter. I don't even know if this guy exists anywhere, but there's a song called Perfect Time. And he is just, this song haunts me. I listened to it during my last breakup, and it just wrecks me. So good.
Right. I'm going to check that one out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know that one.
What's a chore do you not like doing?
I die.
A chore you don't like doing. What was that? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I said I'm going to market that song for him, even though I have no idea who he is. I love it. What's a chore that I don't mind doing?
You don't like doing. When you don't like.
Laundry just pisses me off. The fact that it just never ends.
Yeah.
The fact that I will be doing laundry till I die, I don't want that.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind doing it. I just hate folding it.
Just the whole process. Just the fact that I can look at dirty clothes and go, they're dirty again. 4 days.
We can have kids run around the house and they go through 3 outfits a day.
No, I already go through 3 outfits a day myself, so I'm guilty.
So I probably know the answer to this next question, but you've already got to play the Opry, you played the Bluebird. What's still on your bucket list? What's something you want to do? What that you feel accomplished in the music industry? Where do you want?
I feel like Red Rocks is up there. I'm a Colorado, so that makes sense. I'm gonna play a football stadium, and so everything I do is pointed at that. And I've also changed my dream to I want to enjoy the process of playing a football stadium.
Yeah.
Because all we have is process. Nothing's guaranteed. It's morbid. I could get hit by a bus. I could get cancer. I could blow my voice out. So who knows? I'm going to work my ass off and control what I can control. But I want to love it. And I just want to look back at my life and be like, wow, I got one life is enough. If you do it right, it's enough, And I think that's more and more my goal is just love the journey, unashamedly romanticize my own life and just love it.
I love that, man. So what stadium, if you had to pick, which one did you want to play?
Mile High.
I was hoping that. That's cool. And it's cool because you've seen shows at Red Rocks. We were sharing pictures earlier. There's a picture of you at Red Rocks. So it'd be cool. And that's probably be a big full circle moment when you get the chance to do that. Because it's going to happen. You know that.
Goal. That's the goal.
I love it. Well, before we let you go, man, did you want to play one for us tonight?
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely.
All right.
I feel like after all that my person talk, it would make sense to play.
Yeah, man. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about the story, about the song, and then we'll go right into it.
Yeah, so I put the song on the internet and it just completely changed my life. I started a thing called the My Person Challenge and started at 5 videos, then it was 500, then it was 5,000, then it was like 500,000. And still to this day, I walk in somewhere and people go, hey, you're the My Person guy. And that's the thing. I'm so honored that people use this and dance to this at their wedding. I'm just blown away that I get to be a part of this song. I wrote this with Lalo Guzman, producer and writer, and Kelly Archer. She's a badass songwriter in town and has a bunch of number ones, and just will always kind of remember this as the first thing that brought me to the dance, that really allowed me to live my dreams and had people showing up and singing for the first time for real. So without further ado.
Stage.
I was looking for a long time. I never found nobody like you. I saw you order up in my time. And suddenly I want to. Got your name, got your number, and we talked till they turned on the lights. I was looking for a long time. I didn't know that night I'd find my person, my heartbeat, my slow dance, my Sunday morning sipping on coffee. I know when you know best friend, the stealer of my t-shirts, my reason for speeding home from work, my saving grace, my everything. I've never been more sure that you're my person. Even when you blow a punchline, nobody makes me laugh like you do. Every minute is a long time. If I ain't holding on to you, you're my staying on the weekend. You're my come undone. You're my call home saying it's more than love. Mama, she's the one. Yeah, you're my person, my heartbeat, my slow dance, my Sunday morning sipping on coffee. I know when you know best friend, the stealer, my t-shirts, my reason for speeding home from work, my saving grace, my everything. I've never been more sure that you're my person. Look ahead up the road and you know I see you there. I can chill in the rain in your hair. I'm still gonna stare, 'cause you're my person, my heartbeat, my slow dance. Sunday morning sipping on coffee in bed. I know ain't no best friend. The stealer of my t-shirts, my reason for speeding home from work, my saving grace, my everything. I've never been more sure that you're my person. Yeah, baby, you're my person.
Love that, dude. Song gives me chills, man. Just listen to that.
Makes me so happy.
Can't wait to hear that one live too. I bet with the band it sounds great too.
Can't wait. It's gonna be awesome, y'all.
So tell me a little bit what you're looking forward to before we let you go about coming to Joe's Bar in Chicago, man. I bet you're pumped for that one.
It's gonna be great. You know, our Chicago peeps always show up strong for us, so we're just super excited. We got a awesome show that we're super proud of, and Chicago is one of our favorite cities on every tour. They just feel like they bring some sort of other energy.
Nice. We cannot wait, dude. Like I said, we'll be out there cheering you on, man. Cannot wait for that show.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
Dude, appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us tonight, man. We really appreciate this. It was a great show, and we really appreciate it.
Of course. Anytime. Thank you.
All right, Spencer. We'll let you go. You have a great night, buddy.
You too.
All right. Thank you, man. Love that. The guy is awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So he is on, like he said, 26 city tour.
Yeah.
He's doing right now. He's getting ready to wrap it up here in December. It'll be, I think, December 1st. He's at Joe's. So
Yeah.
Joe's on Weed Street. Like you said, Chicago always turns up. So I cannot wait to come out and see that. It'll be a good one.
Oh, for sure.
So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show with Spencer Crandall. Spencer, with the passion, the drive he has for music and life speaks volumes. We don't wish Spencer nothing but the best. Can't wait to see what he accomplishes in 2023 and beyond. Honestly, he's one of the most hardest working guys I've seen out there. You could tell he's exhausted. And
Yeah, he deserves a break.
He deserves a break. I know December is going to be a nice downtime for him, hopefully, and get a little bit of time off and recharge, because that's definitely something that everybody needs to do from time to time. You need a little bit of time just to recharge those batteries, and if you don't get that time, then it can get rough for a while. I've been there, so I know how it feels to go. So you definitely got to take a little bit of break and recharge. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight, and we will see you guys, I don't know, it'll be next week or the week after. We're working on another show coming up soon, so we do have a little bit of a break coming up. Tomorrow we have a huge announcement. We are announcing our lineup for our episode 150. Be live at Live Oak in Nashville, so we cannot wait to come back. So Neon Grit Takeover. So wait till you see this lineup. It's amazing. A lot of great songwriters on this lineup. We cannot wait to put it out. So probably tomorrow morning, keep an eye on our Instagram, our Facebook, and we'll be dropping an amazing lineup. And then we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for joining us tonight.